Hey guys, welcome to my studio. Hey guys, welcome to my studio. I kid you not, every time it's been quiet for like an hour, I hit record, people start riding little electric motorcycles around. Anyway, alright, here we go. I ain't got no boogers in my nose. Oh, hey there. Didn't see you. Welcome to my studio. Hey guys, welcome to my studio. Today I'd like to talk to you about art mistakes and the creative process. So, hey guys, welcome to my studio. I would like to talk to you all today about the creative process. It's different with every artist, and mine has changed over the years. It's a love-hate relationship. There are months and years where I have felt really creative and not creative, and I've put down the brush literally, and then you get inspired and then you get back into it. So I wanted to kind of just talk through my creative process that's been going on for the last few years. I recently built this nice table. I can sit here, I can think, I can sketch. Got my laptop. Sometimes my laptop is over here, plugged in, but today I just had it here in front of me. And it's got some stuff, just my important stuff, the pens and pencils I need. Nice cup of something nice and cold because it's hot here in Colorado. Got a new mug, by the way. I've been looking for something like this. More about this later, but I've been looking for something I could put like 3 fingers in and drink from. Take camping, all that good stuff. So, also working on some editing. So my creative process, I always try to always have a sketchbook with me, whether it be just on me at work, church, here at the house, wherever. And so I take a look. I mean, some of this isn't even sketches. My first art instructor told me that your sketchbook should have, you know, notes in it. It should have your grocery list. You should have essentially your life in it. Can't show you this one, this page. This is like, yeah, summer 2021. The different projects I'm working on. Zoom in and freeze frame that if you want. So you should have everything. Your whole life should kind of pour into your sketchbook. Any sketchbook should never be these pristine little drawings, right? So anyway, so I use my sketchbook for all that. So all of my stuff tends to go in here. The computer is for research and design and things like that. I try to get things working really well visually, and then I rework them to make sure they're what I want and how they look. But that usually comes from, I don't know, lots of, here, let me flip to one I can show you. Usually just lots and lots of reworkings of ideas. And so I've got one here, tons of just different ideas of the same thing, right? Or the same, for this, it's the same size of something that I'm working on, but with different designs. So, and a huge question mark in the center, like, I don't know if I like any of these. So back to the drawing board. So sketchbooks, essential. You should always be drawing. If you're a photographer, graphic designer, any kind of artist. I'll even go outside the fine arts field. Like if you're, someone who works in clothing or wherever, drawing is the essential foundation for everything. I think I was going to say earlier, one of my first instructors, said, show me he's the one that said, you should have all your stuff. And he also said, show me a tattered and worn out Bible and I'll show you somebody that's not. It's kind of the same with a sketchbook. Show me a sketchbook that's just worn out and tattered and everything, and I'll show you a really creative person. Shout out to Tom Douglas, by the way. So my creative process is typically starts out with a sketchbook or a doodle on like another piece of paper. Oh, look here. This was by a friend of mine, Ryan Hale. Shout out to my bearded brothers, bearded unto death. So I keep stuff in my sketchbook, but even just little notes and things that I come up with, I'll sketch on them. And if I do a sketch on something, it ends up in my sketchbook most of the time. So start here, computer, back to the sketchbook, and then I just start building it. I start making it. And recently I've really been enthralled with epoxy resin, and some artists out there that are doing some amazing work in epoxy resin. So I've got like 3 different styles that I'm working on right now. One has to do with deer antlers, one has to do with just almost like pointillism and layering pointillism in epoxy resin, and then the other style is working on some elongated pieces of wood, so that's more sculptural. So it all starts here. And when I'm in the studio, like right now, which it's like tomorrow's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you guys out there who are fathers. I've been kicked out of the house because my wife was working on something with my daughter in there. So I thought I'd shoot this short video. So I'm in the studio, I'm working through stuff. When I am in the studio, I love to listen to some of my favorite bands. Currently I was listening to one of the latest Joe Rogan podcasts. I'd listen to tons of other podcasts. I might link them in the description below, or I might not. I don't care. So in the comments, what's your creative process? What does that look like for you? For me, it's getting in here, opening up the garage door, working, organizing, working. I work around a piece most of the time. And so sometimes I have to, before I can start, I have to clean something up. You know, I have to get this area ready to receive the painting. And there's actually a painting right in front of the camera right here that you can't see. And I was asking my wife, can I really call this a painting? Like, it's more of an assemblage. I'm putting things together with epoxy resin. I am painting something on it. You'll have to wait and see. But can I really call it a painting? But anyway, so I'll clean all this off. I'll get everything prepped and ready. I have a table saw I do woodworking on. I'm not a woodworker. Shout out to my friend Nate Lamb. So I build most of my canvases. Can you call it a canvas? Wood boards, drawers. Not what you wear, but what you... So, yeah. I build my canvases out of wood with birch, and then I sink the birch into rabbet holes, slits, not really a hole, it's a slit in the wood. See, not a woodworker. Somebody comment down below what I'm messing up on. And so essentially it would be a drawer. If you opened up your drawer, if you took your drawer out and flipped it over, I'm using that side as my canvas. And a canvas is more like, you know, fabric. So another thing in this process is just kind of looking at it, seeing how it looks. I talked to my wife, I talked to some really good friends. Hey, how's this look? You know, is what I'm trying to convey important? Is it working? And someday I'll tell you a funny story about some paintings that didn't work. And so I get feedback from friends and family, and then I push forward into it. I take their advice, I take their wisdom, and eventually I make my own decisions. Sometimes I listen to them, sometimes I don't. But that's okay. So in that process, sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes I make errors, whether it be in the woodworking or just in the painting itself, and I'm not so happy with it. What are some errors that you have made in your artwork? And what do you do with them? I've kept some paintings around my studio just to remind me I don't always make masterpieces. I always set out to make masterpieces, and I think that's why I'm a perfectionist in an imperfect world. Like, I don't come out here every day and just paint and paint and paint and then gesso over a painting and then paint and paint and gesso over and paint. I don't do that. I have friends that do that. I can't do that. And so I have the idea and then I execute the idea. Now, whether or not it's a masterpiece, I don't know, but that's what I'm always shooting for. It doesn't always work out. Therefore, I keep some of those mistakes around because it just lets me know that I'm not perfect. And I make mistakes, and that's okay. I make garbage art that I don't necessarily care for sometimes. And that's okay. You can do that as an artist and go, you know what, I made it, I'm not so proud of it, or I don't like it. I don't like the finished product. It looked better in my mind and on paper, but for the most part, I didn't like the finished product. Which leads me to this. So earlier today, I wanted to enlarge the neck size of this shirt. And I followed along the inside of the seam because like I want to make sure I get the inside of the seam cut out because it was too tight. It was like up here like this. I can't stand stuff up around my neck. So I was just going to cut this out like this. Well, I started following along the seam and then realized I was following along the seam of the shoulder before it was too late. And I was like, ah, again, a mess up. That's okay. So I went back and turned it right side out, or whatever, and started following along the neck seam. So I have a really nice 80s kind of shoulderless Flashdance t-shirt that will probably only be in the garage. This will now be my garage shirt. So, and it's not a bad thing that it's hot outside because it adds a little bit more airflow. I should probably cut off the bottom, like right here, like in the 80s where we had the half shirts. All right, well, that's all I got for you. What is your creative process? First question. And what mistakes have you made as an artist? And what do you do with those? Do you fix them? Bob Ross, happy accidents. That's the beautiful thing about art and when I'm teaching art is that he's like, hey, look, this is the only class you can really like mess up on your project and it still be okay. So, because it's about the learning process. It's not about the finished product, it's about the learning process through that process. So, anyway, y'all have a great time. Like, subscribe, donate. I need a new shirt. More about this next video, but that's good. Is there anything else I need to tell you? I'm working on some cool stuff. Cool stuff coming soon. I tease on Facebook a lot. So take my seriousness, if you follow me on Facebook with my art and stuff, with a grain of salt. Because usually there's 3 or 4 layers that a lot of people don't get, and I'm okay with that. I get it. It makes me laugh. But some Pantone colors coming your way soon. But until then, you guys have a great summer. Another video I'm about to record here in just a second. But yeah, see y'all soon. Bye. And I've been sitting here working on stuff for the last, I don't know, 2 hours maybe, listening to the Joe Rogan Experience and working on stuff. It's been dead quiet in the neighborhood. I hit record, sirens, cars, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, peace. See you guys soon.